Antarctica, the fifth largest continent that has the coldest climates and the driest areas in the world. This big chunk of ice has a lot more secrets than my dream is going to have. Numerous conspiracies have circulated in this large iceland, from buried UFOs to hidden underground Nazi bases. What more could it be hiding? Is there something more to this thick wall of ice? Calm that curious mind of yours and discover what's hidden under that thick chunk of ice. But before diving into this video, make sure to click on that red subscribe button and follow us on our journey in discovering and exploring the captivating realm of science, technology, conspiracies, and the universe. The world is a vast place filled with mystery, and a lot of conspiracies, and the existence of Antarctica was one of its greatest mysteries, as it wasn't known before 1820. It was only confirmed to exist in 1821 when man caught sight of it. Despite it being isolated, Antarctica was discovered to have its own ecosystem with various species of wildlife alongside it. In the years since, numerous scientists and researchers have established bases in Antarctica for important scientific endeavors, transforming it into a hub of scientific exploration and discovery. Antarctica is sometimes described as a continent for science. Talk about wanting to live in Antarctica, the cold climate might just drive me out in just a few minutes. These people are amazing. Antarctica is exceedingly frigid and vast, largely untouched by human activity, and home to a singular environment in our world. It is an excellent place for astronomy. The dry, clear air means that telescopes in Antarctica can see the universe almost as clearly as space telescopes at a much lower cost. However, there are individuals who argue that there is something beyond its inhospitable exterior. If we take a time machine and travel back to 71 million years ago, Antarctica was actually considered one of the most prospering lands and was home to multiple Jurassic species. It had a semi-tropical climate that homed huge tree-sized ferns and conifers. As for today's video, we will be focusing on the mysterious ice wall in Antarctica. Entertainingly, this large ice wall has become a focal point for the Flat Earth movement, as some of its adherents have promoted the idea that Antarctica is not merely a continent, but rather a massive wall that encircles the entire planet, preventing people from falling off the edge of the Earth and into the supposed void beyond. I'm pretty sure you've heard of this flat Earth theory, but in case you haven't heard of it, the theory merely explains that the Earth is not a sphere shape but instead a flat surface like a pancake. To these theorists, this wall serves to keep us contained by preventing all the Earth's ocean water from spilling into space. They even claim that the world's powers and governments know about this ice wall but denies its existence and hides it from the public. Flat Earthers have claimed all sorts of evidence all throughout the years, which they claim to be true, and is only denied by the government to keep people in the dark. As satire as it may seem, they are serious with their claims and they try to prove it with their experiments, such as throwing 360-degree camera to the sky or projecting a light through multiple walls with a hole, only to disprove their own claims. They went as far as to suggest that the Antarctica Treaty was established to limit access to the South Pole, when in reality it was created to prevent nuclear weapon testing on the continent. The treaty designates areas in Antarctica as off-limits for military use and placed strong emphasis on protecting the continent's distinct ecosystem. Although it is a remote location, Antarctica is home to various unique species such as the famous emperor penguins, as well as the Adelie penguins, Weddell seals, and other exclusive invertebrates, plants, and fungi. The Antarctica Treaty was made solely to protect them from dangerous human activities, especially when humans began investigating Antarctica in the early 1800s and brought various invasive species that caused harm in the environment. Nonetheless, the Antarctica Treaty places no restrictions on explorations and expeditions, to this enigmatic icy land. As scientific activities are encouraged and important research is conducted on a continuous basis. Despite the fact that there are no long-term residents, those who visit Antarctica are divided into two groups: tourists and personnel from national Antarctic programs. Tourists, on the other hand, typically spend only a few hours on landings, as opposed to scientists and support workers who spend the majority of their time on a permanently or semi-permanently occupied base. The limited tourist season, which is determined by weather and sea ice movement, also limits the number of visitors. Ship visits to national programs that rely on ships are typically limited to 2 to 3 per 5-month period. Despite the strict maritime regulations for Antarctic ships, accidents are becoming more common as the number of ships increases. Despite its beautiful landscapes, Antarctica remains a hazardous place where the cold is highly erratic, and numerous explorers have lost their lives during various expeditions. The Terra Nova expedition, which resulted in the deaths of 5 British pioneers, is a prime example. This mission was supported and approved by governments and the public worldwide. Though it's been explored by many, it is still covered in mysteries. To date, there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of an ice wall in Antarctica. Theories about its existence exist, but it is possible that it does not exist at all. Alternatively, if there is a structure in Antarctica that some might interpret as an ice wall, it could be something else entirely. For example, there is a prehistoric border wall in the Arctic that is roughly 3,000 feet tall, which is taller than the world's tallest building. However, this is a separate structure from any purported ice wall in Antarctica. The idea of an ice wall surrounding the edge of a flat Earth, as proposed by flat earthers, has been thoroughly debunked. Despite claims to the contrary, satellite images have revealed that there is no such ice wall in Antarctica. In fact, the continent is made up of a single landmass covered in ice with buried mountains, glaciers, and massive icebergs. It begs the question, if governments are encouraging scientific activity and expeditions in Antarctica, why would they conceal the existence of an ice wall? This claim is further discredited by the fact that a group of flat earthers once announced plans to fund their own expedition to find the ice wall, but failed to follow through on their plans, providing no evidence to support their theory. What would be the motivation for world powers and governments to keep the ice wall hidden if it were real? Antarctica is important to scientists because it is relatively untouched compared to other places on the planet, and human activities there are carefully monitored and regulated under international agreements with the goal of maximizing scientific benefits while minimizing human impact. Despite the fact that humans have been visiting Antarctica for over a century, most areas have been explored, leaving more than just footprints and photographs. Do you believe that an ice wall exists? Are you one of the flat earther theorists? Let me know in the comments below and share us what you think. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring that bell for more notifications. We are Mindful Moments, where we discover and explore the world of science. Thanks for watching this video and see you again next time.